Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to give you guys another patch note professor on the recent update, the July 24th, otherwise known as the gameplay update number 210. Don't know why it's number 210, I guess they gave up on making puns for the update names. Either way though, the mid-season update that happened last week as of recording this video was pretty awesome. It completely changed the game and the meta in a lot of different ways. One of the things, however, is Primordials and Arc Warden in particular were very, very strong. So much so that pretty much everyone in every game was trying to go for Primordials, which isn't really healthy for the game and kind of goes against what the game is. So we now have an update where they're fixing some things. They did some stuff to address the Primordials and Arc Warden, which we'll get to in a second, but there's also other updates as well. That's not the only thing in the update, so I wanted to be your patch note professor, or whatever that really means, and just kind of break down the entire patch real in depth, going line by line, and just letting you guys know how I think it'll affect the meta and the game and stuff like that. But it's a pretty decent sized update, so let's just jump into it. So first off, we just have general things. A lot of these are just bug fixes and stuff like that, or visual things. We have found more code that caused crashes and told it to behave. So they have told the bugs to behave. Updated Slark's ability description to match the gameplay. He is not intended to reduce enemy attack speed, so just clarity on that. Added rich presence when finding a match, so that's nice. Fixed lack of glow in Roshan's versus image. Okay. Quality of life and look improvements have been done to the season info UI. They have fixed win and lose streak particles sometimes not showing up, and many particle effect optimizations have been done. Tweaks to foliage and other visuals on the Path of Sunbury's custom board. Fixed Thunderhide's ability tooltip referring to Ogre Magi. Fixed an issue where a unit that has 2 units tiny tossed against it in rapid succession would only take damage once. This is like one of my favorite things about in-depth patch notes by Valve is I did not know this was an issue. I'm sure some people, obviously found it and, discovered it. But I did not know that was an issue, and it's kind of interesting to know, like, well, I'm glad it works now, but it's quite interesting that that is broken. So I guess if Tiny, tossed 2 units against it very fastly, it wouldn't count, the 2, or 2 units. They also fixed Warlock Alliance not correctly choosing low health units to link to. Fixed Desperate Measures not applying to summons. Don't allow player interaction while the map is loading. Units prefer to target heroes rather than summons with their abilities, but if no heroes are available, they will still target summons, so that's nice. Now we have the big boy changes, and off the bat, first of all, we have Arc Warden. So Arc Warden is kind of being reworked completely. So his attack speed originally was 0.59, 0.67, and 0.77. Now it's just 1 across the board, so that's pretty nice. His maximum mana went from 100 to 0. His maximum health went from 600, 1100 to 2650 to 700, 1400, and 2800. So he's got some more health, but thing is he's now a tier 4, so he is no longer tier 3, he's tier 4. So in itself, that makes Primordials already harder to get, because you're delaying the 4 Primordials, ignoring Enigma because that's a tier 5. The first 4 before you could get at tier 3, now you're going to have to rely on some tier 4s. And so his maximum mana was changed to 0, and because that his cooldown is 0, his mana cost is 0. And the ability, what it does now is Arc Warden creates a copy of himself with the same health he currently has. The clone can use all of Arc Warden's current items and will attempt to attack the same enemy as his summoner. Whenever this clone dies, Arc Warden will create a new one. So pretty much what happens is off the bat, Arc Warden just gets to have a clone, and whenever that clone dies, he will instantly summon another one that has whatever health he has. And it's pretty interesting that they'll attempt to attack the same enemy as a summoner. That is pretty cool, and it still has the health and stuff. So I saw someone on Reddit, they were saying it's now actually Arc Warden and not Phantom Lancer. If you played Dota, Phantom Lancer was kind of the guy that just made a bunch of illusions and clones of himself. And Arc Warden was kind of just doing that in this. So it's very interesting. I do think it is probably going to be a nerf to Arc Warden, just because of the fact that Arc Warden was very, very, very broken, so this is hard not to be a nerf, I mean, that's clearly what it is, but I don't think necessarily he's going to be bad. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm very interested to see how the clone works, because potentially you could get so much value if the clone keeps dying and you just keep more clones, so we will have to see. Then Clockwork changes. His armor went from 5, 7, 10 to 10, 13, 15. So he is a lot buffer of a dude. And his maximum health went from 800, 1600, 3200 to 950, 1800, and 3500. So just lot tankier, which is pretty cool because that's kind of like I'd say that's like, the tank unit for the, Scrappy and people. Medusa, the damage minimum and maximum got changed. So minimum was 50, 100, 200. It's now 75, 150, 300. And the maximum was 60, 120, 240. It's now 80, 160, 320. So it's going to be dealing a little bit more damage. Not drastically much, but I think it's a little nice because Medusa, hunters in general right now in this meta are not the best. So the fact that Medusa is getting buffed a little bit is just going to be useful to the Hunter Alliance and Medusa in general. Tinker is his attack speed is changed from 0.67 to 0.77, so just attacking a little faster. His armor went from 10 to 5, so he's losing a lot of tank. That might have been because of what they're doing with Clockwork, but then the maximum and minimum damage went up, so he's getting more damage. So 50, 100, 225, 260, 120, 270, and 60, 120, 275 to 72, 144, 330. So he's going to be attacking faster. He's dealing a little bit more damage, but he's going to be a little less tanky. So that's I think overall, the loss of armor that is pretty bad, but overall I think Tinker will still be kind of just in the same ballpark that he was before. Treant Protector, so if you forgot, Treant Protector was very, very, very strong about like a patch or two ago before the mid-season update. And they kind of just destroyed him. They made him terrible. So they're giving him back a little bit with his Leech Seed ability. The projectile speed comes out faster, so instead of 600, it's 800. And the leech damage and heal changed from 80, 110, 150 to 100, 150, and 200. So the further you get up the tier of him, or the stars, he's going to be more effective with the Leech Seed, exponentially. So I think that'll help a lot. I don't think Treant was like necessarily stupid bad right now, but I think he's going to be better than he was because he wasn't very good in the new update. This is interesting. Lycan. The Alliance changed, so he used to be a human warrior savage. He is now a human hunter savage, and Lycan wolves are now hunter savages. So it's very interesting. I would say this is a very massive buff to Hunter, obviously, because they now get Lycan instead of Warriors. And I think overall this is good balance for the game. I think the Warrior Alliance overall had just too many really good units, and it was kind of just like a good stuff alliance. And I think it's going to be a big buff to Hunters. I think it's interesting. Also, what's nice is if you go for Hunters, or if you go for Warriors before, you would also just kind of get the Savage bonus as well. Now you're not going to, because Lycan is no longer a Warrior, so you're not going to be going for him. So I think overall that's a really healthy change for the game. Technically, in a way, you could say it is a nerf to Lycan in himself in a bubble, because of the fact that I think he does benefit a lot from the warrior synergy. But he's still, nothing else changed about him besides the fact that he's going to be a warrior and his wolves are hunter savages, so that helps with items and stuff like that. So I don't think he's going to, I think he's still going to be insanely good. And in fact, because he is so good, I think we're going to see hunters get brought up a lot. I think stay on the lookout for hunters. Then we got Juggernaut. Juggernaut's attack speed was 0.91. Now it's 0.91, 1, and 1.25, depending on what star you have him at. And his minimum and maximum damage went up just a little bit. Both of them not at the tier 1 level, but at the tier 2 and 3. So what changed with minimum is 130, 260, and then it's actually going to be now 140, 280. The max is going to be, used to be 140, 280, and then now it's 150, 300. So just a little more damage, which is good. Juggernaut's not the best, so hopefully the attack speed plus the extra damage make him a little bit better. I still don't expect him to be the best, but he's only a tier 2, so you can't expect too much. So that are all of the hero changes, and now we have item changes. The only thing is you guessed it, a primordial item. I was saying primordials and Arc Warden were the big problem, so this patch is mainly addressing that. And one of the biggest things was the font of creation, so the little item that whenever your primordials die, they create little eidolons. So before, with the different tiers of alliance items, it used to be 300, 400, and 500 health each eidolon. Now it's just always going to be 300. And the max damage used to be 70, 80, 90. Now it is 60, 70, 80. So Gonna hurt a lot. I think it's still overall really useful. Just obviously at the tier 2 and tier 3 level, it's going to be a lot worse because mainly that HP is what's causing that. Because having 500 HP every time a Primordial dies is pretty insane. So that going to 300 is going to change it a lot. I think it's still going to be a really good item if you're going for Primordials. But the last thing we have on our list is the only alliance change, and that is Primordials. So before Primordials, you know, it used to be whenever you get attacked or your Primordials and then eventually all your allies get attacked, there was just a chance to disarm the enemies. Now, instead of that, at level 1, enemies attacking Primordial units have a 25% chance to have their attack speed slowed by 50 each attack. This effect is applied at the start of the attack and lasts for the duration of the attack. And then, you know, obviously instead of it only affecting Primordial units, it affects all of your friendly units. So this is definitely a very, very, very big nerf. Pretty much what it is it's now focusing on attack speed, but just for one single thing. So the way it reads anyways is every time you get attacked, or that, you know, they attack a Primordial unit or eventually a friendly unit if you have the 4 buff, there's a 25% chance for that attack that they're attacking you with to just be super, super, super slow. And because of that, the fact that it's getting slowed, they're losing out on damage because they're not being able to attack as fast, so they're going to lose it on damage. So it's still like a damage reduction, but it's going to be a lot less in the long run. And also, it's not just it's preventing instead of preventing the damage completely for 4 seconds, it's just slowing each instance of the attack. So I think overall for like less annoyingness, it's really nice because it is kind of just annoying to watch your units just literally be useless for 4 seconds because they hit a freaking water boy. But you know, it's definitely a nerf. I think Primordials were kind of a support alliance previously, and I think the mid-season update just with Arc Warden and Primordials made them so massively stupidly overpowered that people kind of started doing those alliances. I think you're definitely going to have to not main them. I think it might still be possible to do support, you know, just have 4 of them and, you know, kind of do other things. But either way, we will have to see what ends up happening with this meta. Those are just kind of my little analysis, my, you know, guesses as what's to happen, how the meta is going to change. But overall, I would love to hear you guys' opinions. If you guys don't like the Arc Warden change, or you know, you thought they should have done something else, let me know in the comments down below. I love talking with you guys. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like and subscribing to this channel to see more Underlords content, whether it be, you know, patch note professor videos like this, or just live commentaries or news or anything like that. You can get that all from here. And if you guys are having a great day today, then I hope you continue having a great day. If you guys aren't having a great day, I hope you guys start having a great day. But either way, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. See you guys next time.